Can you hear it? Alright guys, we are officially on our way. It's been a while since we've had a little road trip. Jesse and I are heading out. We're going to Idaho to go drifting. And we're taking the Truck 40. I don't have an official name for it. That might be it. That's kind of a lame name. Everybody says that. It has a 240 with the back cut off. But I did a bunch of work on it last night, and then right as we were about to leave, the AC compressor froze up on the truck, so we had to get a shorter belt. Thanks Russ, he's like, oh, don't worry about it, just go get a shorter belt, bypass it, all that stuff. And so now we're on the road. We're gonna get to Boise tonight, and then tomorrow is Apex Idaho event. Should be a lot of fun. It's at Meridian Speedway. I've never driven there, but with this car and a 4.9 diff with a stock KA, I think it'll be all right. This actually has a Mega Squirt, so we can actually manipulate a little bit the timing and the fueling and try and squeeze a little bit extra power out of it. So it'll be exciting. I'm excited to drive this low-powered car and see how it does. But road trip time, let's go. What's this guy doing? Hey, get out of there. You stealing all my ideas?
Where's the turbo? Why is it only 4 cylinders? This isn't you, Brandon.
So we made it out to Idaho. This is literally, I was just talking to Russ about it. This is the first time we've loaded this on a trailer, first time doing anything with this car. Like, it's kind of weird. I'm not used to having a car that's like running that I bought and just go drive it. So this is like a weird feeling, but I hope everything works all right. I got the Mega Squirt hooked up. I had to download a serial to USB driver and all this stuff to get it to connect, but I was able to connect and manipulate some stuff. So I didn't change the tune. I want to drive it a little bit and then like mess with the timing and see kind of what it does, but I think it'll be a good car.
Drama free.
Well, because Brandon is, I think he's getting a little long in the tooth, and he's not doing a very good job of repairing his drift cars. So this is the time in his life where he's just going to start buying drift cars and then breaking them. So maybe in 5 years he'll just have a conglomerate of half-working drift cars, and then we can go back to the original content of fixing this stuff.
It's pretty simple. Look at that wideband gauge, dude.
That's simple.
I don't know. That's a wideband. Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah, for real.
Why is it idling so neat?
I don't know. I didn't tune it. We're gonna get this thing fixed up. Oh, that's good. 0 oil pressure.
Did you check the oil?
Yeah, I did. It's pretty good.
What if it's just not?
Time to go shake this thing down. So I don't know why Neil's got 50 PSI in the front tires. Like, I don't know, they're like race tires and they got 50 PSI. I don't know what's going on here. We'll go ahead and lower that to like 35. Let's try that. car sick already. Are you?
No, I'm good.
Oh. Well, you ready to drive?
No.
Oh,
it's fun.
This thing's a handful.
A lot of inertia.
Yeah, I like inertia drifting, but it's not great on this track. This is I mean, it's small, but it's a power track, you know?
Yeah.
Big figure eight. Wow. All I'm thinking about is what I want to change. Like, you know what I mean? That first impression, like, oh, I want to adjust this, I want to change this. I think those sticky front tires aren't doing this car any favors. You know what I mean? Because it kind of pivots on those front tires. With this low of power, you want those tires to be slipping to kind of let the whole car drift through the corner and not pivot on those grippy front tires. So I might actually put some of those other ones on the front and see how that does.
Maybe those 16s?
Yeah. And the that third gear, it's kind of nice being able to shift third in a low power car. It's really cool having the short gears.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you weren't trying to climb a bank, third would be money.
Yeah.
But since you're trying to climb a bank, if you don't have enough speed, it just slows down so
Right.
much.
And that's why I think if those front tires had a little bit of slip, it might help the whole car like slide up the bank. Maybe that's why he had them up to 50, so they weren't so grippy.
It's possible.
Yeah. Let's try that out.
Let's do it.
Woo!
What just happened?
I don't know, we're about to find out though. You know, the easiest way to diag something is when the fault is current. And we're in a current state of fault right now. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's like a computer, you just gotta turn it off and turn it back on, you know? Sometimes that's just it's just what it takes. It's like the fuel pump's not supplying. Full throttle. No throttle.
You can hear it.
Hear what?
You're going, trying to suck.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, I guess we're working on the car today. I don't know why I expected anything different. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. You know, when you were driving it, how it was kind of cutting out?
Yeah.
It was doing that a little bit, like the fuel or the timing's not perfect, but, I mean, it was all right. So the first lap out, what happened?
Your glasses are just so crooked.
The first lap out, it didn't have a ton of power, and so I come in and we're looking at the laptop, and the timing was set to fixed 10 degrees. It wasn't variable. So all the 30 degrees that was all over the map and 28 degrees and all this stuff, none of that was there. It was ignoring the map and just doing a fixed 10 degrees. So this is the first time I drifted it since I fixed that, and it's way different. It's got to be at least 20 horsepower difference. And so I was able to get third gear, get a little bit up to the wall. It did a lot better for sure. The other thing I did was I added a bunch of fuel throughout the map. The wideband's not really working, and since it was cutting out on Jesse, I was trying to add more fuel, and then this happened. So I don't know what we're dealing with, but fun stuff. It's always fun to try and figure something out with no data. We have no wideband data, so I got no idea where we're at with fueling. But that just tells me when we get back to the shop, I'll do a full dyno tune on this thing, see if we can get some real, squeeze every last little juicy horsepower out of this thing, see what she'll do. Also, I don't know if you know, in the dual cams, there's an exhaust cam mod. You can run an exhaust cam on the intake and then like re-drill the thing, and you get some more power that way. So I'll have to dig through all my random parts of KA stuff and see. I think it's a
hot cam is what they call it.
I think it's a green. There's marks on like green and a brown one. I think it's 2 greens or something. I'll have to look it up. That'll be fun. All right, we're gonna figure this thing out. I found the problem. I'm guessing it's a combination of the fact that this literally just sits out in the open, and these are unsealed connectors, right? There's no trunk. Just there's the weather right there. And we keep putting tires and wheels in here, moving stuff around, so I probably just pulled on these. So that's the positive to the fuel pump. And walked around the pits and can't find a crimper. Someone went to get one, but I want to go drive right now. So I remembered this truck does more than just drive me around. It's also a rolling toolbox. Not one, but 2. And I got wiring. I don't know what I'm gonna do for electrical tape, but we'll figure it out. Might have it right here. Rolling toolbox, I'm telling you. Rolling toolbox, what do we got? I could wrap a rubber glove around it. Oh, look at this. 3 pairs. That's why I don't have any in my toolbox in the shop. Hey!
Crimpers.
Look at that.
Connectors.
Don't tell homeboy, sorry. We sent him on a mission to go get some of these and I have them right here. All right, we're back in business. And there's my crimpers. Oh, that's not good. Good to go. All right, where'd I put it? There it is. Got to adjust the crimpers.
Was it snug?
It's snug.
So snug. He was gonna take a nap. It was so snug. Snuggled up.
All right, now it should start. Hey, there we go. It's a lot better. Love it. All right, let's go get some laps. I wonder if that's why I was cutting out when you were driving. I'll bet that was it. You know what I'm saying? I told you I thought it was fuel pressure related. Those problems are fixed now.
Yes.
All right, back on track. Let's go. Yeah, those are some good laps. I got to drive with James, which I very rarely get to like meet up with him when we both have cars. And then I got to drive with the Salt Lake boys. That was a good time. This car's struggling. I think what happened is when the fuel pump was coming apart, I didn't realize this, so I started adding a bunch of fuel to the map, and now the map's like way too rich and unhappy. So now I got to plug the laptop back in, take away some fuel, and hopefully we'll be in that sweet spot another 20 horsepower, because when I get up to like to the higher RPM, it's like blah, 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 blah. So I might just revert to the first map and then see where that puts us. Good times, good times. It's hard without an accurate wideband and without the dyno. Frustrating. It's like 50% of a car, you know? And that would have been a really good session. Can you hear it?
It sounds like a remix.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I cut the vent to the tank. There was a bunch of pressure in the fuel tank, so I released it through the cap, and then I cut the vent hose. I don't know where it was going, so I just pulled as much as I could, cut it, and then put it up. Now I smell fuel tank vapors everywhere, of course, but it kind of fixed it. So now I don't know exactly what's going on. Super frustrating, super frustrating. But this is why I brought it, to figure it out, right? So, I don't know.
You want to get a drink and think?
Yeah.
I don't want it to come all the way apart, but I guess we might just have to.
I should do it. We're checking to see what's going on with the sock. If the sock has any residue in the bottom of the tank that it's picking up. We were able to, well, let's do it. Let's not do it. We were able to keep the pump submerged and then turn the pump on and watch and make sure there's nothing in that feed hose that was split or coming out. I've had that happen before. Now we're going all the way to see if there's anything wrong with the sock or whatever, anything that I couldn't see. That was plugged in still. Alright.
I thought you were trying to make a point or something.
Nah, they ripped right out of there. Good job. Alright, that looks alright. The wiring looks all right. I don't know what pump this is. It looks like a something unfamiliar. I really doubt it's a pump issue though. I don't know. How does the tank look? It's cloudy. It's not the cleanest fuel I've ever seen. But
That's pretty cloudy.
That to me is strange.
that hose.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, just how far it's clamped?
no, but
You think it's collapsed on the inside?
well, I don't know. Something was not liking that it was picking up fuel. Because of the first time I blew on it, it wouldn't blow. And then I finally got it to come through. So
I wonder if
I
there's,
don't know how these ones work.
Oh, if there's like a valve inside.
Yeah, if there's an anti-siphon valve, but
Right.
it should, you know, like a check ball
Right.
or something like
Right,
that.
right.
It doesn't. The fuel doesn't taste very good.
Because it's cloudy.
I mean, like normally, like fuel,
Yeah.
that tastes a lot like water. So,
We did just fill up at that Maverick.
Maverick's pretty quality fuel, I
yeah,
think.
I mean, like
91 at Maverick.
Yeah.
if there was any, the odd thing about water in a fuel tank though is that it you'll have 10 gallons of fuel and you'll have a water bubble. So then you'll run through that water bubble only sometimes.
So it doesn't mix with the fuel.
It doesn't mix with the fuel, so you'll run into pockets of water. So the only way to test that is to get a bottle and like fill the bottle up
And
like
watch it
this much,
separate?
and then watch it separate. And you'll know if there's a little bit of water and I mean, like everything, it picks up that water for a little bit,
Yeah.
and then it runs like crap, and then all of a sudden it'll run good again because it runs through the fuel. So it could be. Usually fuel doesn't taste like this does, so I don't know if you guys have done it. We do a lot in the boating world, so water and fuel
Right,
is what
yeah,
I know.
yeah,
So
yep.
like that's pretty common for me.
I wonder if that's why the tank looked
So-
cloudy too.
So yeah, that would be my only other guess.
Huh. I mean, that does make sense. Fuel contamination would absolutely do what it's doing right now.
So I had a boat that did the same thing. It'd run great, and then we'd run it for like 100 yards, and then it would cut out really bad, and then we'd let it sit, and then all the fuel and the water would separate again, and then we'd take off for another 100 yards, and then let it sit. And it took us like a while to figure out that we had water in the tank. So
I should pull a line up front, pump some into a bottle.
yeah, or if you can get it in. The only question, the reason I say that is if this isn't covered, like if this is out in a rainstorm, then it's just gonna funnel in, and then you'll, I mean, like presumably could have water in the
There was
tank.
the way that tank built pressure makes me think there's no way for anything to get in and out of there.
Yeah, it could be. That would be, I mean, unless you have something like a weird regulator or this. The other thing is, like, I don't know if you probably don't. Usually a fuel pump either works or doesn't work.
Right.
They don't usually,
right.
kind of, sort of work.
So
that
unless
would be
it's a
awesome.
line issue or a fuel pressure regulator,
Yeah.
it would
Yeah.
make sense that the fuel is contaminated. So
Right.
I'm pretty sure if Neil had this at the track, he was buying track fuel. So there's a good chance it's either old or contaminated if it was from the track. And who knows when he filled up last. And right, we only put 3 gallons in it. So whatever was in here, there's 10 gallons of old gas, whatever you want, whatever that is.
And if it's track fuel, it's probably non-eth. So, and the bad thing about that is ethanol and water can mix.
Right.
Whereas non-eth, it'll separate it, keep it separate all the time. So.
I guess we should test it.
I don't know. It's just my theory on your issue.
I mean, usually when I open an S13 tank, I can see to the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, that's
clearly,
like
and
real cloudy.
This looks, yeah, that's not great. Need a bottle. To the garbage. So we got a sample of fuel out of the tank with this little water bottle.
Oh, yeah,
It's
you
been
can
sitting for what, 2 or 3 minutes now?
Yeah.
And there's a little bubble of
So you can see the line right there. That's getting bigger and bigger. You can see it moving
Yep.
separate.
Yep.
So my guess is when we got here, that tank was full, and so your fuel doesn't really slosh that much, right? Because it's full to the top. And as soon as you get a little bit of airspace in there, the fuel starts doing this. All big, whatever water's in there just went everywhere in the tank. And that's why it ran good at the beginning of the day. Now all that water's kind of a little bit everywhere, and it's getting sucked up in there. Sometimes you got fuel injecting, sometimes you got water injecting, a mix of both. And that explains why that makes the most sense. That was a good idea. And the way he figured it out is he's like, this doesn't taste like it's supposed to. It's true, I dipped my hand there to get that, and like my glove didn't react to the fuel like it normally does. It doesn't smell like really potent fuel. Just something's not right. So my guess is, wherever Neil got that gas from, because it was mostly full, whether the fuel got contaminated in the tank, whether it was track fuel that was already contaminated, something's wrong with this fuel. So that's enough for me to decide I'm gonna drain the whole tank right now. The good thing is I can use this fuel in my diesel truck.
Well, that, and once
Water down my oil.
you let it sit, you can just siphon off the gas out of the top and let the water, just put the siphon hose to the water line, and then it'll be good fuel again.
The water will be at the bottom.
The water will be at the bottom, so if you can see the clear mark, you can siphon
So if
off
I drain
the
this whole
fuel.
tank,
Correct.
I'm probably still gonna have water at the bottom.
No, I mean, you'll get it all the way out, but then when you start to use it, you'll be able to see the water
and just
line is
separate it.
clear,
Let
and
it
just
separate.
separate, and then just put it back. Yeah.
Yeah, where's your drill pump? Get on there.
I got a pump right here.
You're gonna wear that one out. And then
It's a
you're
water
gonna-
pump.
Then you're gonna need.
It's a water pump. really good session. Car's driving good enough to like have some fun. So we were just sessioning. It's the last session of the day. I mean, track's closed now. And I was out there with Ryan, and we were having a pretty good session, jamming. So he kept leading. I was like, I gotta get around him, and I couldn't get around him. So what I did is he goes high on the bank, and I just go whoop. I zoomed around him on the bank, got into third, and then he dropped down right in place. Really good. And then we're sessioning, everything's good. My trans is getting really hot, and the gear oil is like starting to splash out everywhere. And so we're on the bank, and I run out of wheel speed on that bank in third gear, kind of like power. So I straighten a little bit and then reinitiate. So I go second to third coming up the bank, and I hit first gear. So it's like car slows down, and he goes boop, hits me in the back, and then I come out and try and go to third again, and then not. So he's basically like pushing me through the corner because he's probably on throttle trying to do it. So this is the first impact damage I have since I got this car, which that's what this car is for. This is a thrash car. But yeah, I got some good rubber on there. But this is easily fixable, especially with all this truck access I got. How's that, Jesse?
Looking good.
We good? I gotta take care of these. I don't want a problem.
Yeah, don't want to sit on that.
Right there?
Right there. Yeah. Oh yeah. Looking good.
Oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna go talk to Ryan. What a day. That was a good time. I'm glad we came up here. The first few laps were like really good, and then had car problems pretty much like
Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. And so we spent a lot of time, but the good thing is I came up here for that, right? I came up here to sort out the issues and like solve any problems that we had, instead of taking it to like say a rental day, or like, you know, if I went to a different track day. That was the purpose of it. I feel like we got sorted, and I'm happy with the result. It needs some tuning. I'm gonna put it on the dyno and clean up the map, try and gain some horsepower from it. We'll do a baseline tune of the old map, a baseline tune of my track map that I just did, and then we'll check the difference and then see what we can gain torque-wise out of that. But that's it for today. We're gonna go ahead and drive on back to Utah, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.